Akatsu Red. Hello, got home from work. Yeah, we just started a second game. I'm going to be casting the Zaaahmbeeeh-eh-eh-eh one more time. Get that. Shalai, Esper on Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Rainbow Princess on Saskia.
Awkward.
And Valdor on Nath of the Gilt-Leaf. They are guilty leaves.
I don't know which deck scares me more right now.
Not mine.
Never yours.
Never ever mine. Trying to build Animar for a new 3DH deck? Oh. How much is Animar? Oh, it's like... There's like the Animar Morph deck, right?
That mull to 5.
That's rough.
Oh, yeah.
I kept one that I probably should not have. Animorphs. I read the crap out of that series as a kid.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I even had the Hork-Bajir Chronicles book.
I'm surprised you still remember the name, because I cannot.
Yeah, there was the Andalites and the Hork-Bajir. I had both the Chronicles. Because the Andalites were the sort of
Weird
centaur ones that were the pseudo good guys, the one that actually gave the kids their powers, and then the Hork-Bajir were the bad guys.
Yeah, the brain slug thingies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a fun series. I liked it a lot. Best book ever, and no, nostalgia doesn't color my opinion at all. It does. They're bad. No, they are not good books. They are fun for when you're a kid.
Yeah, they're on par with how Goosebump books were.
Oh, yeah.
Great and entertaining, but now you look back, you're like, what?
I read I read Goosebumps and the Animorphs, and Encyclopedia Brown was another one of my fun ones. Did I watch the TV series at all? I did. It had Aaron, what's his name on it? I can't remember. His brother got really famous too. They were both actors. He was like the main guy. I have to look that up because it's going to annoy me if I don't find it.
Getting the elf beats in.
Animorphs.
Wow.
Let's see, where are we? Sean Ashmore and his brother's Aaron Ashmore. Sean Ashmore was in X-Men because he was Bobby Drake, and his brother Aaron was in 4400. A couple other things. All right, buddy, you're knocking this. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna put you over there.
You can't get mad at the kitty. Kitties are cute.
Yeah, they're twins. Yeah, they're. I think they're fraternal twins, right? They're not identical. I can't remember. I think Aaron Ashmore was also on Warehouse 13, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they look very similar, but yeah, he was on Veronica Mars, Killjoys, Warehouse 13, a few other shows. Fringe. He was in a couple episodes of that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, they're both pretty good.
That's an interesting card.
Yeah, I read Goosebumps, Fear Street, R.L. Stein's other series. Uh-oh. Creekwood Legion.
Yes'm. That's all. Very simple turn.
Yeah.
I don't got a Sylvan Library over there.
Well, that's not good. I think we just go with this. Boo. Boo earns. No land. Kept a 2-lander. It was not great.
Got greedy.
Got greedy. 2 lands, the Necromancer's stockpile. Thought, yeah, we'll get there probably. No, we will not get there. Of course not. Shandar Chronicles and series like that. Yeah, I didn't read those ones. I read.
Yeah, I think I remember reading the Shandar.
Oh, what else did I read? I think one of my favorite books from when I was a kid was actually a book called Maniac McGee. And almost, I don't think I've found too many other people that have ever read that book.
I think for me, when I was, like middle school,
Mm-hmm.
6th grade, whatnot, one of my favorite book series was The White Mountains.
Okay, not heard of
It's,
that one.
It's a weird one with aliens.
The Wheel of Time, too.
That
Yeah,
could be anything.
a weird one with aliens could be anything. Yeah, you're not wrong. Wheel of Time, I couldn't quite get into, but I also realized that later I accidentally started on like book 3, not realizing it was a series, and I had no idea what was going on. I got
Who you naming, Gringo? Real quick.
Who's talking?
It's Valdor. I mean, if you name me, it's gonna die. Just let you know.
Okay, fine.
so that's Esper.
Oh,
All right.
There was one that I read that was not great. It was called The Rune Lords, I believe.
That's fair.
You need to read them in order. Yeah. Can't we talk this out?
I mean, talking with your fist is a thing.
yeah, I was gonna say. Saskia talks with her hands.
That's true.
I'm taking way more than you guys, so I'm less than pleased about this.
You're not wrong.
Why don't you like our gifts?
The Wheel of Time I felt was a little dense as well. I'd probably be able to read it a little bit easier now. But when I was like junior high, high school, college, I did read a lot of I read a lot of Michael Crichton and Robin Cook and some other stuff. Yeah, didn't enjoy Wheel of Time. Agree about dense, didn't find it enjoyable. Yeah, I couldn't quite get into it. It's the same thing with the Song of Fire and Ice books. I just can't quite get into them. They're just
Really?
yeah.
Figured that'd be kind of up your wheelhouse there.
Yeah, like it's one of those where I feel like it should be, but every time I've gone to read them, I've just gotten bored after a while. Let's get rid of that.
It's kind of an older series, but have you read the what is it? The Sword of Truth?
Yes, I read all of those up until Actually, I think I read the entire series. It was like 12 books or 13.
Yeah, 12.
I read all of those, and they were pretty good. Like, they were entertaining. They're not well written. after reading some other stuff, I realized like that was one where I got the first or second book in like junior high, and then read it throughout high school, and then it was just like kind of invested at that point, so I just kept going.
It's definitely entertaining. It's not well written, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of fine, you want a new hand next turn, Jeremy? You want to try this again?
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'll let you try this again.
You're gonna force me to discard all my cards and then not let me draw them?
Maybe. No, I won't do that. That's mean.
But yeah, I read all of those. I think my favorite one was probably Faith of the Fallen. Like, that one was pretty good. But yeah, they're not well. Like, I read those, and then I went and reread them like a couple of years ago, and I was like, wow, the prose in these is not super great. Like, it's quick. It's very close to like a fantasy, like a Dan Brown almost, where there's just like a bunch of stuff all happening. He tried to get a little political, or like show more of the politics of the world in like Blood of the Fold, I think was the one, like the second or third book.
Yeah, where it was,
and that one seemed kind of out of place just because of the fact that it had all that in there, and it seemed to slow it down a bit. It
had definitely a bunch of darker, over like, yeah, it was fairly dark.
Yeah,
like especially when it came up with the organizations and like how they treated people.
Yep. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been able to actually like sit down and read a book, mainly because I haven't gotten a chance to get a new one.
Sure.
So
I just finished almost, like, I pretty much went on a tear and finished almost everything by Brandon Sanderson. I basically only have a couple of things left in the Cosmere books. Like, I still haven't read Elantris, which is like his first book, and I've heard it is kind of rough because it is a first book. But that one's really cool because I picked up Mistborn after hearing some stuff about his writing. I was like, okay, maybe. Like, I picked up Name of the Wind because of the same thing, where nobody was really pressuring me, but I had heard people mention it, and I was like, okay. Picked it up, read about less than a quarter of it, and I was like, I gotta go pick up the second book because this is amazing. And it's been one of my favorite books for the last several years. But then I did the same thing with Sanderson. I picked up Mistborn, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then,
oh wait, Mistborn, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's like the really cool thing about his stuff is just the fact that his worlds are all interconnected. Like, he has several different series, but they're all interconnected. Even though they don't have like the same magic system or anything,
Please stop hurting me.
They all are in a shared universe.
I'm not attacking you, man. I'm not
hurting me. It hurts so much. Please stop.
Was my opinion of the second Mistborn book?
I think I have read it.
Thanks, Steve Jaweth. Love the Commander Versa series. I think one of my big things about them is that they're very quick reads. The thing that picked me up into it really was I started reading the first one, and then I read a synopsis about the fact that his idea was very cool to me. Of he wanted to do a medieval sword and sorcery trilogy, and then have another trilogy that
random mother.
Whoa!
And then have another trilogy that would be modern day, but with the same magic system. And then a third trilogy that was like in the future, but with the same magic system. And I was like, man, that sounds awesome. and then he wrote the first trilogy, wrote a sort of Gap book that he wanted to do that was like a Western steampunk, and then he was like, I like these characters too much, and wrote another whole trilogy based on those characters. So he never got to the modern day one quite yet. But then I read all those, and then I picked up The Way of Kings, and that series is very, very long, but very worth it. It's very cool. That's a lot of elves. A lot of boys.
Wow.
Well, thank you,
That's a
Joa.
lot of- Hopefully you got some land.
Sure.
Let's see what everyone else get rid of. Our Reckoning of White Zenith and a Seaborn Muse. I am happy.
Don't have a 3DH deck built quite yet, but if I wanted to get a game in the future stream, how would I make that happen? If you go to the Discord and check under the 3DH channel, 3DH Magic channel, up in the pinned messages is the schedule right here. It's the third pin down right now. And if you go to that schedule, it will open up in Google Docs this schedule sheet here. And you can sign up as long as there's a blank. You can see here this upcoming Friday, we have Seth's stream. Saturday is my stream. Next week, Tuesday, I have a stream with a bunch of open spots. Friday, Seth has a stream, and I will be gone on the 2nd and 3rd as I will be at the Pro Tour in Richmond to hang out and say hi to people. Turn 5. 16 elves.
Yeah, right.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all with my 2 lands.
I'm trying to help you out by giving you a new hand.
You're not wrong. Tatiova or Omnath? RG, I still can't decide. I'm leaning towards Tatiova because I like the additional land plays, but Omnath has bigger potential for win cons. What would I choose for you, Clicky? Probably just Omnath. Seems cool.
There you go, Esper. We're hitting on Rainbow a little bit.
Rawr.
You made me draw 3 lands. I'm not buying that.
Have a good night, Beanside.
Sorry, I just tried to help y'all out by giving you stuff.
Here's the land you got me.
I mean, better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. But we
I
also
was gonna-
got a signet.
Woo!
Yay.
I was gonna mention another book to you to see if you've read it, but I can't remember what it is now, which is disappointing. Oh, I've been rereading the Dragonlance books, the few that I have.
Yeah, I've not read those. Somebody who has read almost all of those, I think, everything, ever, and was a huge Dragonlance fan was Shivambot.
Oh god, I've only read like the 2 like Chronicle books that they have, and I have a couple of their smaller like, other random like storybooks.
Yeah, Shivam was if you don't follow Shivam, he's a very cool dude. On Twitter, he does retweet a lot of political left-leaning stuff, and he does tweet about his religion, his faith, quite a bit, because he's Hindu. But it's like he does a lot of like chains, and I learn a lot from those, and it's very cool. But he also is one of the people. He's on the Commanderin podcast, and he is one of the people who, like, I think it was the Dragonlance series. It's one of those fantasy series where he was like basically one of the people who, if the writers were trying to figure something out, they could just contact him and be like, hey, we were going to do this with that character. Would that like completely destroy our continuity? And he'd be like, Yeah, if you did it this way, though, it'd probably be fine. Because this happened in that book, and this other character did that, kind of thing. Like, he would be that person who knew, like, all of the minutia of every single book in this huge series.
Oh, God. I can't remember the conversation we're having, or who I was having it with, but the Marvel team should have, like, a huge old group for people like that.
Yeah, continuity experts.
Yeah.
Marvel can... I believe Marvel is one of those companies where they probably had people for a long time, and then they just made a database.
Yeah.
And you could search and find out, like, did X person interact with Y person? How many times has this person died? Has what event happened here that could change this? Just stuff like that. Star Wars, I also know that there was a guy who, before Disney bought them out, was in charge of all of the continuity in the extended universe, even though it was a mess. There was one guy who was hired by LucasArts that hey, Scribbles.
That sounds like an awful job.
Yeah, right? He was hardcore. My wife and my brother-in-law went to Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, like, I don't know how long ago it was, 6 years? 7, 8, something like that. It was a long while ago. It was they were announcing Star Wars Rebels as a show during that event. So whenever that was. But they went there, hung out, and her brother, my brother-in-law, her brother is a huge Star Wars nerd and saw that guy. And he's like, oh man, it's him. Like, he knows everything about Star Wars, the extended universe and everything. Like, he was more of a fanboy of this guy than, like, half the celebrities they saw. It's like, oh, Donald Faison and Seth Green are talking about this? Whatever. She got very excited, though, because they were at that panel about the announcement of Rebels, and it was Faison and Seth Green and a couple other people, and then George Lucas came out, and she had to message me, and she's like, I'm in the same room as George Lucas. I was like, yeah, all right. That's pretty awesome.
I think I'll play that.
Prowess of the Fair. I have not seen that since probably drafting Lorwyn 10 years ago or whatever it was. 11 at this point.
Let's go to combats.
Oh, that draft I did on Saturday night. I went 2-1 in that one as well. So I got my 100 play points and called it good. Rough beats.
No holding back.
Just the tokens. I see. Well, we are all technically in the same
Yeah.
heteropia as SCG celebrity Jeremy Noell. Yeah, celebrity. Famous. Yeah, thank you, Valdor.
Had to get that almost famous in there.
Yeah, I feel like I should change that around a little bit so that it's a little clearer. Just a little bit bigger or something. Locks.
I mean,
Oh,
sorry, Rainbow. Oh, God.
That's fast.
I just pulled a Phyrexian for sure.
yeah, that was... What turn was that? 6? Yep, that's turn
Turn
6.
six.
Sorry, Gringo Flamingo. I owe you a deck, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta get that to you sometime.
Phyrexian, is this what it feels like? Is this what real power feels like?
have something good to beat this.
I think out of everybody, your deck was the one I was fearing a sweeper from most.
Probably.
Because, you know, the red, I was just figuring there would be a sweeper in there somewhere.
I have quite a few sweepers, but I don't think I have any red ones. I think I just have the white ones in it.
Okay.
Probably right.
What you get?
Something good. Hopefully.
Something to kill all your tokens.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, you did say it was getting late, so I'm just trying to help you out by getting you to bed.
That's not what I wanted. Went too fast.
You also had a pretty good start there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dark deal was definitely a giant help.
Yeah.
But, you know, I did it for Jeremy.
That's what it was,
Trying to get
right?
him lands.
Right? Gotta make sure I get to that land. Kept a 2-lander, felt like a dummy. Just helping it out, right? Helping it along.
Yeah. Well, I can't target Esper with my Nath, so. Something about hexproof.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have a lot of dudes, and you could pretty trivially kill me at this point.
Yep.
Oh, why did I tap 2 lands?
I picked the wrong card. And that will be my downfall.
There we go.
Well then.
Yeah, just gotta draw some cards.
Just
That's all I'm
drawing
doing.
some cards and also getting some elves. No big deal. It's alright. It's alright, everybody.
I wish I could cast this right now.
But you won't.
And we go right click, attack all.
Pass the turn. This feels like I'm not long for this world.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh, we got stuff.
Arachnogenesis. That's good.
That's a good card.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean,
It's my favorite fog.
If you overrun me next turn, I'm not even gonna be mad.
Can I help you? Well, what? You're very noisy. Cat's just meow barking at me. That's what he does.
Nice tokens. Man, you're out tokening me, I think.
Did you? use Shalai so you could just block one on each, or no?
That's what.
You did just.
Sir, Judge,
Thank
Judge, outside interferes.
Technically, I was in this game, not very long, but
That's so good.
I mean, I guess at this point it's revenge.
I actually couldn't see because his board's gotten so small. The non-summoning sick creatures are off. I have to click. It's got the arrows.
Yeah, it's getting out of there, out of hand.
The board state.
Hey, little boy. Ugh.
I have to block these all one by one.
One by one.
Oh man, am I almost dead on the crackback?
Nice, Bean's Eye. Thanks.
I mean, unless you have your own.
I had a couple of tokens. My massive field is dead.
That card's never looked better.
To what?
Best Arachnus I've ever seen.
Arachnogenesis, yeah. It's pretty fantastic. Probably a little better if you had, like, Cathar's Crusade or something crazy. Not legal in this format, but...
It didn't let me.
Pump them?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's not good.
Were you F6?
No. It just went from Jeremy's and skipped right over mine.
Yeah, I was F6'd. I think.
I'll just have to kill you the hard way then.
That's fair. Another city, you see.
Yeah,
That died.
it did. I brought it back.
Red return.
Oh, okay. I did not see what was being played.
Yeah.
So is the hard way by just pumping your dudes multiple times and beating me in the face?
In general.
Okay, fair enough.
Cheers. Going nuts here.
Just looking with Convoke.
Sprout Swarms.
Sir?
We all love Sprout Swarm here, don't we?
Mhm.
Sir? Sir?
Well,
Right? F6.
yep. I mean, I just got a 25-25,
Just
but I think he got me beat.
a little bit.
Ugh.
Pumped. Pump and dump. That's what we do here on 3DH. So we raise the prices and then cash out for a whole 4 extra cents.
Hey, that 4 cents adds up after, you know, hundreds and thousands
Yep.
and, you know. So, got the Triumph of the Horde?
I'm waiting for it.
Nope, not in this deck.
Feel like this is going to end poorly for me and you.
I mean,
Ooh,
I got something coming to me, so.
that's fair.
I mean, those are all 2/3s. I guess I chump as much as I can.
These are 3/4s
Yeah.
and 3/3s. Think you might be done.
I think so too.
Thank you, Beanside, for posting that list.
Yep.
Spiders.
All the spiders. None of the waiting.
Creepy crawlers.
Wow.
It was
And
35.
I did have the overrun in my hand. That's what I couldn't cast last turn. Oh. Well, I
Hope
got
you got
there
a board
pretty
away.
fast. Yeah, I got there pretty fast, and then I ended pretty fast. It'd be cool if there was a board wipe, but I don't know if there's
Heyo.
one. Oh. Goodbye, tokens.
Goodbye.
Oh, I mean, you should have gotten a little bit of a tax in.
Nah.
Yeah.
Exploit. Do I want to sacrifice something right now? Probably fine.
Oh, feel bad getting the Seaborn Muses, but there's a Flashbag Marauder.
Yep. Can I use Sidisi's ability?
And just like that, Jeremy with the 2-land hand kind of gets there.
Kind of got there, for sure.
Pretty much.
Don't want that. Probably just this.
It was only like a 40-minute game, about. So what else you got? Undead Alchemist. Geth. That's mean. So Geth was actually my very first EDH deck.
Nice.
I kind of miss it. I kind of wish I could rebuild it. Maybe I should.
All right. Seaborn Muse still there.
Squirrel nest.
I love Squirrel Nest so much.
I know.
Oh. That's a fantastic card.
In the Crowson Forest, you've got to keep an eye out for the squirrels. Oh, wait. I could get it pop out chat and see what's going on in Jeremy's hand now.
Yep. Need that. Let's get rid of that. That nonsense.
Murder?
Straight
Don't
up
even have a hero's-
murder.
Yeah. Not even a hero's downfall. So at first I thought Esper, your deck was a like Enchantress deck.
It is.
Is it?
It's enchantments and tokens. Specifically enchantments that make tokens.
Ah, I see.
That's a way to do it, yeah. Alright.
I'm just dead here. That living death crippled me. As bad as the Orknegenesis crippled you, Valdor.
Yeah.
This was the game of, I've got a haymaker. Now it's my turn to throw a haymaker, but I'm exposed to your haymaker, the other person's haymaker.
Kinda,
and we all
yeah.
die.
How it ended up, yeah.
No, that was I still that was a fun game.
Yeah.
I mean, except for, sorry, Gringo.
I get it. I get it. It's okay. It's just really intimidating. It's okay.
So I just realized I'm still alive. Because he's got Undead Alchemist.
Hmm? Oh, yeah, so I make the tokens. Oops. And you exile a bunch.
And I milled instead of...
Yeah, milled instead of taking the damage.
I'm pretty sure.
Oops.
Well, I guess you know what you're sacking to
Hey, Ninja.
Grimgrin.
Yeah, probably. Old Sacred Mesa. That's great.
Create them Pegasi.
Get them Pegasus. Pegasi. Pegasuses.
Singular.
Pythagoras. Pythagoras.
Pastrami?
Nice.
Your message.
No blocks.
Oh, this is where he one-shots you
Yeah.
with his no cards in hand.
Don't get cocky, kid.
No cards in hand, 24 cards in the library. One more hit with the group, and I'm just milled to 0. There's no need to actually sacrifice it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it
Mill
doesn't
out.
even really matter, right?
Do it. Mill him out.
Rar.
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 I mean, do zombies really rar?
Rar.
Fair enough.
That's what I said. That's what I meant.
Sir, did you just question me? Yep.
Well, I
All
hope
that-
you enjoy all 11 creatures in my deck.
If you don't resolve your upkeep triggers,
Anvil?
you can't lose.
Yes. Brains. Hey, thanks, Valdor, for the 100 bits.
Thought it was appropriate with the RIP and the zombie hand.
Yes, very appropriate. All right, so that was game 2, which took much less time than game 1. All right, so as I was saying earlier, well, thank you guys. Good games.
Good games.
Big game.
And I don't know if it's... Oh, yep, she left. Okay. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And as I was saying earlier,